Welcome to the AXA Engineers Podcast, episode 18. Okay, let's unpack this. We've got a truly fascinating deep dive ahead of us today. We're drawing insights from, a whole stack of industry analyses, research papers, case studies, really zeroing in on a cornerstone of modern civil engineering, 3D modeling. But our mission isn't just to explain the what of 3D modeling, it's really to explore the how. Specifically, how leveraging strategic external expertise in civil engineering outsourcing is, well, fundamentally changing the game for firms across the globe. Civil engineering firms today are under just constant pressure, aren't they? Innovate, deliver these cutting-edge projects with increasing complexity, and sometimes manage incredibly intricate resources and tight budgets all at the same time. It's a lot. This deep dive is going to explore how tapping into specialized external capabilities, like those offered by AXA engineers, can unlock, unprecedented efficiency, provide a significant technological edge, and dramatically accelerate project timelines in this dynamic world of civil engineering.
Yeah, and what's truly fascinating here, and what our research really lights up, is how often firms grapple with this ambition, bringing advanced capabilities like robust 3D modeling in-house. They think it's the solution, only to discover this labyrinth of hidden complexities, escalating costs, substantial operational burdens, that often actually hinder rather than help their growth. It's counterintuitive sometimes. So this deep dive will really highlight a powerful strategic alternative, showing how a firm can achieve that cutting-edge capability and, importantly, scale without the internal drag in that constant draining investment.
Absolutely. And as we dive into this material, we really invite all of you listening to follow the show on your preferred podcast platform. And please jump into the comments section with your thoughts or questions after we wrap up. We genuinely love hearing your insights and perspectives. It makes this much more of a conversation. So let's kick things off by laying a solid foundation. Before we delve into the nuances of civil engineering outsourcing, we need to fully grasp the why, the transformative power of 3D modeling itself. We hear 3D modeling everywhere these days, don't we? Animation, manufacturing. But what does it specifically mean in the realm of civil design, beyond just, a fancy picture on a screen?
That's a crucial distinction. And it's where many outside the industry might misunderstand its profound impact. In civil design, 3D modeling refers to creating these highly detailed digital three-dimensional representations of complex infrastructure projects. We're talking about everything: sprawling road networks, intricate stormwater and wastewater drainage systems, precise topographic grading plans for site development, and, the entire subterranean tapestry of utilities, water, sewer, electrical conduits. It's all in there. But, and this is key, these aren't merely geometric models. The real power here, what sets them apart from traditional 2D drafting or even basic CAD, is that these models are intelligent. They are data-driven simulations. They're embedded with rich information that mirrors real-world conditions with incredible fidelity and, crucially, predictive power. This capability empowers engineering teams to conduct really rigorous performance analyses, proactively detect potential conflicts between design elements, and fundamentally streamline the entire construction process long before a single shovel ever breaks ground.
Wow.
It allows for this sort of virtual prototyping, identifying issues that would be exponentially more expensive and time-consuming to fix in the field.
That sounds like a monumental leap from, traditional blueprints and those flat drawings. It's not just seeing it in 3D. It's about the intelligence within the model. So what are the specific tools that make this dynamic, intelligent simulation possible? And how do they really enhance or even revolutionize what engineers have traditionally done, moving beyond, the pen and paper or even early CAD?
Oh, the transformation is truly profound. And it's powered by some really sophisticated software suites, industry-standard tools. We're primarily looking at things like Autodesk Civil 3D, Infraworks, and Revit. These aren't just drawing programs, not at all. They are comprehensive, interconnected design environments. For instance, Civil 3D lets engineers generate highly accurate digital terrain model surfaces, create complex linear features like roadways, railways, using corridors that automatically account for design speed, super elevation, site distance, all the critical stuff. They can design entire stormwater networks, complete with pipe sizing, hydraulic analysis, and perform highly accurate topographic grading with, frankly, unparalleled precision.
Okay, so it's the detail and the automation.
Exactly. But what makes these tools revolutionary is their inherent interconnectivity, their parametric nature. Let me give you a vivid, tangible example. Imagine in traditional CAD, right?
Yeah.
If you adjusted a road profile, say, you needed to raise it a meter to clear a utility line. Historically, that meant manually redrawing everything. Every adjacent grading line, every stormwater pipe invert, every retaining wall profile along that whole
Oh, they
segment.
can just picture the hours ticking by.
Painstaking,
Yeah.
error-prone, incredibly time-consuming iterative process. Nightmare.
Yeah.
But with these advanced tools, changing that road profile in Civil 3D dynamically updates all those adjacent elements. Automatically.
Automatically.
Yeah. The software recalculates earthwork volumes, adjusts pipe slopes to maintain flow. It even flags potential conflicts with existing underground utilities, all in real time within the unified model.
What?
This kind of dynamic, interconnected updating, it's simply impossible in traditional CAD workflows. It fundamentally changes the design iteration process. Instead of this linear, laborious task, it becomes a fluid, intelligent exploration of design options. Much faster, much smarter.
Right, you can see the implications immediately. Here's where it gets really interesting for me. Beyond just the cool visualization and those dynamic updates that save time, what are the concrete practical advantages? The things that 3D modeling brings to the table for all project stakeholders, the design team, the client, even the public. What are the core benefits that truly change the game? Things that translate directly into tangible project improvements.
Oh, the benefits extend far beyond just being able to see the project in 3D. They really resonate through every single phase of a project lifecycle, from the initial concept right through to final construction and even long-term asset management. It's end-to-end. First, you have just unparalleled visual clarity and communication. It's huge. 3D models provide these immersive, realistic visuals that help everyone, clients, city planners, investors, the general public, instantly understand the design intent. Imagine presenting a complex new highway interchange or, say, an urban drainage system. Instead of abstract 2D plans that, let's face it, can be hard to interpret, you could virtually walk them through the proposed design, show how it integrates with the existing environment, maybe even simulate traffic flow.
That must speed things up considerably. Less confusion.
Dramatically. It speeds up feedback cycles, gets approvals through much faster because there's significantly less room for misinterpretation or, abstract thinking. Everyone is literally on the same digital page seeing the same future. It builds consensus quickly.
Okay, clarity is number one. What's next?
Second is vastly improved coordination and collaboration. This is critical on complex projects. In any large civil project, you've got a multitude of teams, right? Structural engineers on bridges, architects for buildings, landscape architects, utility companies, civil designers for site work, all working concurrently. Working within a single unified 3D model, often hosted on what's called a common data environment or CDE, ensures everyone is collaborating in the same digital space.
So everyone sees the latest version, the same data.
Exactly. And this is absolutely critical for avoiding costly clashes and extensive rework down the line. For example, if the grading plan creates a conflict with a proposed stormwater culvert, or a new utility line hits the foundation of an existing structure, boom, the model flags it immediately.
Before it becomes a real problem on site.
Precisely. It allows for virtual resolution before it ever becomes a physical, expensive problem on site. We're talking potentially saving hundreds of thousands, maybe millions, in change orders and delays. It's massive.
Right. Clash detection, that's a big one I hear about.
Huge. And connected to that, think about smarter documentation and data consistency. Gone are the days of manually creating every single plan set, cross-section, detailed quantity report, or earthwork calculation from scratch. Tedious stuff. With 3D models, these vital documents and data output are automatically generated directly from the model data itself.
So the drawings match the calculations, match the reports.
Always. It not only saves immense amounts of time in drafting and calculations, but more importantly, ensures complete data consistency across all deliverables. Every single report, every drawing, every quantity takeoff reflects the exact same design intent and underlying data. It minimizes errors, ensures accuracy throughout the project lifecycle, invaluable for bidding, procurement, construction sequencing.
Okay, so better visuals, better coordination, smarter documents.
Yeah.
What else?
And finally, a truly critical benefit: advanced clash detection and constructability analysis. We touched on clashes, but this goes deeper. It's the ability to virtually build and simulate the entire project before any physical construction even begins. It lets engineers identify and resolve conflicts between utilities, grading, structures, even temporary works like crane paths before they manifest as costly delays, safety hazards, or big redesigns in the field.
Like a dress rehearsal for construction.
Exactly. You can simulate the sequence of construction to ensure access, identify potential safety risks, optimize material delivery. This preemptive problem-solving capacity is just invaluable for maintaining tight schedules and adhering to strict budgets. It de-risks the project significantly.
So if we pull all of that together,
Hmm.
what does this all mean for a civil engineering firm at a fundamental level? How does it really change their whole approach?
It's nothing short of a paradigm shift, honestly. 3D modeling fundamentally transforms civil engineering. It moves it from a world of static, often isolated drawings and disconnected information to one of dynamic, interconnected, and highly collaborative environments. Decisions aren't just better informed, they're strategically aligned because they're based on this comprehensive, interconnected digital twin of the real-world conditions. And this leads directly to more efficient project delivery, a significant reduction in costly mistakes, and vastly improved communication across the entire project team and all stakeholders. It's about working smarter, not just harder, leveraging technology to create superior, more predictable outcomes, ultimately delivering greater value and reducing risk for clients. That's the bottom line.
And for all of you out there listening, this isn't just, theory or something for the future. This is about smarter, more efficient project delivery right now. It's about reducing those often hidden yet incredibly costly mistakes and truly improving communication across the board, which, as anyone in this industry knows, is absolutely essential for any successful project, regardless of its scale or complexity. Now, despite these, well, frankly, overwhelming advantages of 3D modeling, many civil engineering firms still hesitate. They hesitate to fully adopt it across their projects or, invest heavily in building a robust internal department. There's this common perception, almost intuitive, isn't it, that developing an in-house 3D modeling team ensures greater project control. You get direct staff oversight, seamless workflow integration, readily available resources whenever you need them. It sounds like the ideal scenario on paper. But is that the full story? Does that perception maybe conceal some deeper realities?
It absolutely offers that initial sense of stability, doesn't it? That feeling of immediate control, having everything under your direct roof, your command. And look, for some niche applications, maybe very specific needs, it might even be the right choice. However, as our research consistently indicates, that perception often conceals really significant financial and operational burdens. Burdens that, ironically, can severely restrict a firm's agility, its scalability, and ultimately its growth potential. It can hold them back. So this raises a really important question firms have to confront. What are the true costs, both seen and crucially unseen, of building and maintaining these sophisticated in-house 3D modeling capabilities? And maybe even more importantly, what opportunities are missed by not exploring strategic alternatives like civil engineering outsourcing?
Let's delve into those costs, starting with the technology itself. We just talked about these powerful tools, Civil 3D, Infraworks, Revit, all the advanced functions. What are the specific financial drains tied to acquiring, maintaining, and consistently keeping that technology cutting edge in an internal setup? It sounds expensive.
Oh, the technology costs are indeed one of the most significant and, frankly, relentless challenges. They form a substantial and often escalating barrier for many firms. First, there's the high upfront investment in the core software licenses. Platforms like Civil 3D, Infraworks, Reventate, these aren't minor purchases. A single seat of Civil 3D can run into the thousands annually, and you usually need multiple licenses. That adds up fast.
And that's just the start, right?
Exactly. Then you have the ongoing burden of subscription renewals. It's a significant recurring expense year after year. It's a non-negotiable operational cost that just keeps climbing. Beyond that, you often need specialized add-ons, maybe for advanced analysis, simulation, specific workflows like generative design with Dynamo or grading optimization tools. These further inflate those expenses, sometimes adding another 20–30% to your software spend.
Okay, so software is a big chunk. What else?
But it's not just the software. Operating these powerful platforms demands equally high-performance workstations for your engineers. We're talking top-tier processors, immense RAM, powerful graphics cards. These machines aren't cheap. They would cost anywhere from, say, $2,500 to $5,000 per workstation. And they require regular maintenance, software updates, and periodic replacement, often every 2 to 3 years, just to keep up with evolving software demands and stay efficient.
So constant hardware upgrades, too.
Constant. Factor in network infrastructure, dedicated servers for large models, data storage. You're looking at a substantial, constant, escalating drain on capital. And it requires dedicated IT resources just to manage it all. For a mid-sized firm wanting to scale their 3D modeling, this could easily be hundreds of thousands in capital expenditure and recurring operational costs annually. It's not a one-time purchase. It's a perpetual investment just to keep pace.
That paints a pretty stark picture.
It does. But in stark contrast, this is exactly where strategic civil engineering outsourcing, especially with a partner that has already made these significant investments, presents such a compelling alternative. Take a firm like AXANH Engineers, for example. They were notably Vietnam's largest holder of Civil 3D licenses in 2023. That tells you something about their scale and investment. AXA engineers absorbed all these substantial technology costs. The upfront investment, the ongoing subscriptions for a vast array of specialized software, the add-ons, the high-performance hardware infrastructure, all the associated IT maintenance and upgrades.
So the client doesn't carry that burden.
Precisely. What this means for their clients is they gain immediate access to a cutting-edge technology stack without the capital outlay, without the recurring overhead, without the IT management burden. It allows clients to focus entirely on their core design work, client relationships, business development, instead of being bogged down by the relentless demands of IT infrastructure and software procurement. It transforms a fixed capital expenditure into a flexible operational expense. That's a huge shift.
That immediately highlights a major point of relief for firms, yeah, taking a significant chunk of financial pressure off their plate. But it's not just about the tech, is it? Human resources. That often gets overlooked or maybe underestimated in the initial cost assessment of building an in-house team. What are the unseen constraints and maybe escalating costs on the human capital side when relying solely on an internal 3D modeling department?
Precisely. Human resources introduce a whole other layer of constraints and costs, and these are often far less predictable than technology expenses. First off, recruiting skilled 3D modelers in today's market. It's incredibly challenging and time-consuming. These are specialized professionals. They need a unique blend of engineering knowledge and software proficiency. Attracting top talent requires significant investment recruitment fees, competitive salaries, attractive benefits packages. It's expensive.
And then you have to train them, keep them updated.
Exactly. Once hired, training them, especially to keep pace with the constantly evolving features, updates, best practices in these sophisticated tools. It demands continuous time and money. Professional development, certifications, ongoing learning initiatives. It's not a one-and-done training. It's a perpetual commitment, just like the software.
Okay, recruitment and training are costly. What about utilization?
And here's a critical financial point. Utilization. Whether your internal team is at full capacity, maybe during a busy project rush, or sitting underutilized during slower periods, those fixed salaries, benefits, and licensing fees remain a constant expense. You're essentially paying for that potential capacity 24/7, even if it's not being fully leveraged.
Right, you carry the cost even if the work isn't there.
Exactly. If a firm invests in, say, 5 full-time 3D modelers and only has work for 3 for a quarter, they're still carrying the full cost of all 5. That directly impacts profit margins. And again, that need for constant upskilling to maintain a competitive edge. It's a perpetual, costly investment, pulling valuable resources away from billable work.
And what about staff turnover? That must hurt.
Oh, it's a killer. Staff turnover is a pervasive issue, a reality in any industry, but it's particularly impactful in specialized fields like this. When a skilled modeler leaves, it introduces significant project delays. You scramble to recruit, onboard, train a replacement, a process that can easily take 3-6 months, maybe even longer, for highly specialized roles. These delays can critically impact project timelines, lead to missed deadlines, and crucially, can erode client trust, potentially incur penalty clauses when project milestones slip or quality becomes inconsistent due to new, less experienced staff. That loss of institutional knowledge and project momentum is a profound pain point for firms managing internal teams.
That makes perfect sense. Consistency is key.
However, again, this is where strategic civil engineering outsourcing with the right partner provides a really robust answer. Firms that prioritize high engineer retention rates like AXA engineers, boasting an impressive 97% retention rate, ensure remarkable stability and consistency for client projects.
97%, that's very high.
It's exceptional. And that high retention means a consistent, experienced, deeply familiar workforce is dedicated to your projects. It allows them to run smoothly without the disruptive interruptions, the knowledge gaps, the costly delays typically associated with staff turnover in an in-house model. This kind of workforce stability is a direct and often overlooked benefit of strategic civil engineering outsourcing. It ensures continuous project progress and consistent quality. It builds trust.
Okay, so we've covered technology costs, human resource costs, and constraints. So if you're a principal engineer, a project manager, part of the senior leadership team at a civil engineering firm, what does all of this mean for your most valuable asset, your time and your strategic focus? How do internal modeling teams end up draining that crucial leadership attention, diverting it from the very activities that actually drive the firm's growth and profitability?
It's perhaps one of the most critical yet often unseen drains on a firm's core strategic capacity. It really is. Principal engineers, who ideally should be focused on high-level business development, cultivating new client relationships, crafting innovative design solutions, driving the firm's strategic growth. They frequently find themselves just bogged down in operational minutia. They can spend countless hours managing their internal CAD and BIM teams, troubleshooting IT issues related to software or hardware, organizing and overseeing continuous training, maybe even mediating internal team conflicts or managing performance reviews for technical staff. It pulls them away from the big picture.
So they become managers instead of leaders.
In a way, yes. These aren't just minor distractions. These are tasks that pull them directly away from their most crucial responsibilities. The very activities that secure new projects, expand service offerings, strengthen client ties, and ultimately drive the firm's profitability and future trajectory. Every hour a principal spends managing an internal modeling team is an hour not spent securing that multi-million-dollar project or innovating a new service line or strengthening a key client relationship. It's what some call operational quicksand. It slowly, subtly, but relentlessly saps the firm's strategic bandwidth.
That's a powerful image. Operational quicksand.
And this is precisely where strategic civil engineering outsourcing, with a structured, reliable partner like AXA Engineers, can be truly transformative. It completely reclaims this lost focus for leadership by offloading the day-to-day management of the modeling team, the IT complexities, the training overhead, the unpredictability of staff turnover. Firm leaders are free to dedicate their full attention to where it matters most: their core business strategy, aggressive client acquisition, service diversification, overall business growth. It's about empowering the most valuable members of your team to do what they do best, without getting caught in the weeds of operational management that can be handled more efficiently and often more expertly by specialized external providers.
So for you listening, what we're really getting at here is that while firms might gain a perceived sense of control by keeping everything in-house, they're often inadvertently losing valuable strategic capacity and facing these escalating, often hidden operational liabilities that can severely constrain their growth. This is precisely where strategic civil engineering outsourcing offers a clear, compelling, and truly transformative alternative, shifting the focus from managing internal burdens to leveraging external strength. Okay, let's pivot now. Let's talk about the solution, or maybe more accurately, the strategic advantage. We've talked about the clear benefits of 3D modeling and the hidden hurdles of building and maintaining an internal team. How do leading civil engineering outsourcing partners, like AXA Engineers, specifically address these challenges? And what do they offer that's truly more than just a simple cost savings measure? How do they unlock what we've termed strategic efficiency for civil engineering firms?
This is where the narrative shifts from problem to really profound opportunity. The strategic advantage offered by specialized civil engineering outsourcing partners. It's designed not merely to reduce costs, although that's certainly a valuable component, let's be clear, but it's fundamentally about unlocking significant strategic efficiency, agility, and resilience for their clients. A key enabler of this is the sheer scale and infrastructure these leading providers possess. You mentioned AXA Engineers operating with over 80 dedicated civil engineers across multiple offices.
That's significant scale.
It is. And that scale isn't just about raw capacity. It's about a depth of expertise. It's about redundant systems, robust infrastructure, things that most individual civil engineering firms simply cannot justify or replicate internally. But, it's important to acknowledge that civil engineering outsourcing isn't a magic bullet without its own considerations. We should be upfront about that. Common concerns often include things like communication barriers, distance, time zones, potential issues around intellectual property, data security, challenges in maintaining consistent quality, maybe a perceived risk of vendor lock-in.
Right, those are valid concerns people raise.
Absolutely. And the best outsourcing partners, the really strategic ones like AXA Engineers, understand these concerns deeply. They proactively build systems to mitigate them. For example, strong providers implement really rigorous communication protocols, often deploying dedicated client liaisons, using advanced collaboration platforms to bridge that distance, making it feel seamless. They invest heavily in robust data security protocols, legally binding IP agreements to protect client information. That's non-negotiable. Quality, as we'll discuss, is assured through strict SOPs, multi-tiered QA/QC processes. And finally, that risk of vendor lock-in. It's addressed by demonstrating ongoing value, flexibility, and a commitment to integrating seamlessly with the client's existing workflows and technologies. It's about building a true partnership, not just a transactional relationship.
Okay, that addresses some key potential roadblocks. You mentioned time zones. That brings up a crucial point, the logistical benefits. When you have a team of that scale, especially potentially across different time zones, what kind of practical advantages does that operational model translate into for clients, particularly when it comes to something as critical as project timelines and, speed to market?
This is one of the most striking and immediately impactful practical benefits. The ability to leverage dual shifts strategically aligned with client time zones, like U.S. hours. What this means for clients is, frankly, revolutionary for their timelines. They benefit from real-time collaboration with the AXA engineers team during their own working day, addressing questions, conducting design reviews, providing feedback just like their extended team was down the hall.
So direct interaction during business hours.
Yes, but then here's the magic part. As the client's day ends, they go home, they sleep. The AXA engineer's other shift seamlessly continues making progress overnight. This creates a powerful, essentially uninterrupted 24-hour cycle of work.
The project keeps moving forward while you sleep.
Precisely. This continuous workflow dramatically compresses timelines. It accelerates approvals, which is an absolutely critical advantage in today's fast-paced, competitive project landscape. Every day saved can translate into significant cost savings, earlier project delivery, faster revenue generation for the client's client. For a large-scale land development project, for instance, this round-the-clock progress could literally mean cutting weeks, maybe even months off a critical path schedule, getting permits approved quicker, moving to construction significantly faster.
That's huge leverage.
It's not just about doing tasks faster. It's about fundamentally changing the pace of project delivery. This while-you-sleep progress is a powerful, tangible benefit of strategic civil engineering outsourcing with a partner like AXA Engineers. It enables firms to meet aggressive deadlines that would simply be impossible with a standard internal 8-hour workday.
That while you sleep progress truly is a game changer. But as you mentioned earlier, a common and very natural concern with outsourcing is maintaining quality and consistency, especially when dealing with complex 3D models, precise engineering deliverables. How do leading outsourcing partners like AXA engineers ensure the work delivered consistently meets those high standards clients expect? And how do they integrate into a client's maybe already established quality control frameworks?
Yeah, that's a very valid concern, and it's something that most reputable outsourcing firms, certainly AXA engineers, have meticulously built into their core operational framework. Quality isn't an afterthought. It's a foundational element. They don't just hope for quality, they engineer it into the process. They utilize comprehensive standard operating procedures, SOPs, that govern every single step of the workflow. From the initial project intake, data handling, model setup, all the way through design development, quality checks, final delivery. It's all mapped out. These SOPs are incredibly granular, covering everything from specific naming conventions for model elements, strict layering standards, clash detection protocols, version control best practices, detailed quality checklists.
It's a defined process for everything.
Exactly. This ensures clear, repeatable workflows, meaning consistency is inherent in every task, regardless of which individual engineer might be working on it. Furthermore, leading providers like AXA engineers invest heavily in extensive, often U.S.-led or regionally aligned training initiatives. This ensures their engineers are not only proficient with the latest tools and techniques, but are also deeply aligned with the specific technical standards, industry conventions, local codes, and quality expectations prevalent in the target market like the U.S.
So they understand the local context, too.
Absolutely. This can involve training on specific local codes, understanding subtle client preferences, even nuances of common construction practices in a particular region. It's detailed. And beyond the SOPs, they often employ multi-tiered quality assurance, quality control, QA/QC processes. This involves peer reviews, senior engineer oversight, independent checks before anything goes out the door.
Layers of checks. The result of this commitment to process, training, and layered quality control is consistent, high-quality models and deliverables, work that reliably aligns with client expectations, integrates seamlessly with existing systems, and adheres to the most stringent project requirements. This meticulous approach to quality control really instills strong confidence in their civil engineering outsourcing services. It transforms what might be a perceived risk into a demonstrable strength for AXA engineers.
That consistency and the rigorous training, the QA/QC, that's incredibly reassuring. It demonstrates a serious commitment to quality. So what about firms with varying project needs? Some might have a huge multi-year complex infrastructure project one month, and then the next month they just need help with a smaller specialized task or maybe just a few hours of support. How do leading civil engineering outsourcing partners like AXA engineers offer that agility and flexibility? How do they empower growth without those internal resource headaches of, overhiring or underutilization? Scalability and flexibility. These are truly a core transformative advantage of strategic civil engineering outsourcing. Absolutely essential for any firm looking to grow strategically and navigate those inevitable market fluctuations without incurring prohibitive fixed costs. Whether a firm needs help with a relatively small single grading task for a residential site or requires comprehensive full model coordination and design support for a massive urban development project. Leading providers like AXA engineers have the capacity to dynamically deploy the right team at precisely the right scale.
So you get exactly what you need when you need it.
Precisely. This means clients aren't forced to hire full-time staff just for peak loads, only to have them sit idle and become a financial drain during slower periods. We talked about that inefficiency. This on-demand capacity is achieved without the typical hiring delays, without the recruitment costs, without the significant financial burden of idle resource costs that plague in-house teams. It essentially converts what would be a fixed operational cost into a variable one, directly tied to actual project demand. That's financially very attractive.
Huge flexibility.
Huge. This kind of flexible resourcing fundamentally empowers firms to confidently pursue larger, more complex, more ambitious projects than they might otherwise be able to tackle with their internal headcount limitations.
Oh.
It allows them to, punch above their weight by leveraging external expertise as a strategic growth accelerator. Think about it. A medium-sized firm might suddenly win a bid for a major municipal project that requires double their current 3D modeling capacity. With an outsourcing partner like AXA engineers, they can instantly scale up to meet that demand. No 6 to 9 month lead time for hiring and training new staff.
They can seize the opportunity immediately.
Immediately, ensuring they can take on opportunities that would otherwise be completely out of reach. This agile resourcing ensures optimal utilization of both internal and external teams, maximizing profitability and responsiveness. It's smart business.
So if we step back now and look at the bigger picture here, what does all of this mean for civil engineering firms? Beyond just getting a specific task done or saving a bit of money, what kind of operational transformation are we truly talking about here? For firms that embrace strategic civil engineering outsourcing,
this is truly more than just civil engineering outsourcing in a tactical sense. This is profound operational transformation. It's a fundamental shift in how firms can conceive of and manage their technical capabilities. Firms are effectively able to offload those substantial fixed liabilities inherent in building and maintaining an internal modeling department. All those escalating technology costs, the unpredictable and constant human resource expenses, that critical drain on leadership time we discussed, poof, gone, or at least significantly reduced. In exchange, they gain immediate, dynamic, flexible access to a vast array of licensed software, a deep pool of highly trained and stable engineers. Remember that 97% retention at AXA engineers, and proven, efficient systems and workflows, all available precisely on demand, when and where they need them, whether it's for peak capacity or highly specialized niche tasks.
so it's access over ownership, really.
Just exactly. Access to capability without the burden of ownership. And as the engineering process outsourcing market continues its robust growth globally, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry expanding rapidly. The real question is no longer, should we outsource? For most forward-thinking firms, that ship has sailed. The question now is, how can we strategically leverage civil engineering outsourcing to amplify our core strengths, mitigate our internal limitations, and position ourselves for future growth and innovation? This is about recognizing that core competencies can actually be enhanced, not diluted by strategic partnerships. And firms like AXA engineers are positioned right at the forefront of this shift. They help businesses turn what would typically be static, often underutilized overhead, those fixed costs, eating into margins, into dynamic, flexible project capacity. And this leads directly to accelerating project timelines, significantly improving project outcomes through higher quality and better coordination, and most importantly, freeing up that invaluable leadership time to focus on strategic business development, market diversification, technological innovation, where they truly matter most for the firm's long-term future. It's about shifting from managing constraints to leveraging really boundless opportunity.
And for you, our listener, the takeaway here is profound, isn't it? This isn't just about saving money on a line item, although, yeah, that's certainly a benefit. It's about fundamentally reallocating your firm's most valuable resources, time, focus, capital, gaining incredible strategic agility, and tapping into a global talent pool, like the team at AXA Engineers, to genuinely enhance your core capabilities. It's about pushing your firm into a new era of efficiency, innovation, and competitive advantage in what is a rapidly evolving industry. So to recap our deep dive today, civil engineering outsourcing, particularly when approached as a strategic partnership with a reliable, specialized provider like AXA Engineers, it isn't merely a cost-cutting measure, it's truly a transformative pathway, a pathway to operational agility, a significant technological edge, and a fundamental shift in how firms can approach resource allocation and innovation. It's about enabling your firm to pursue grander visions, tackle more ambitious projects, without the crushing internal burdens and constant capital outlay that so often limit growth in our industry.
Absolutely. And perhaps the final thought for everyone listening is this. As you look to the future of your firm, really take a hard look at your current project constraints, your bottlenecks, your resource limitations, where your leadership time is really going. And then seriously, consider how a strategic partnership, how leveraging civil engineering outsourcing with a partner like AXA Engineers can provide the operational agility, the continuous innovation, and the technological edge your firm needs, not just to compete, but to truly thrive. It's about more than just getting work done. It's about strategically building the future of engineering, one successful, efficiently delivered project at a time. How could that agility transform your firm's potential?
That's a powerful question to ponder. We strongly encourage you to visit the AXA Engineers website, check out their detailed case studies, see how they've helped firms just like yours achieve these strategic advantages, and definitely request a tailored cost-benefit analysis. You might be genuinely surprised at the operational transformation that's possible for your firm. And finally, don't forget to follow our show on your favorite platform, and please drop your comments or questions below. We really do value your input and love continuing the conversation. Thanks for tuning in.